G'day and welcome to Auto Animals. My name's Adam and today we're going to talk about washing your car. Now, I know for most people washing your car tends to be just a case of bucket of soapy water and a sponge and off you go, and that's fine. But actually you're probably causing more damage to your car than you realise, and in the long run that can devalue it. So today we're going to show you how to wash your car properly, keep it looking good and keep value to it. And to start with, we're going to be using snow foam.
The car we've chosen for this demonstration is the Nissan X-Trail, which we recently reviewed. Since then it's been sitting outside the Auto Animals workshop and has been somewhat unloved for the past few months, so we need to give it a good wash. As you can see, it's been sitting outside for a while, fully exposed to the elements, and is covered in a collection of dust, dirt, grit, sap from trees, seeds, cobwebs, bird droppings and all sorts of things that can make the paintwork look scruffy and can seriously reduce the appeal of this car. All this debris on the paint can cause damage to the top coat and the paintwork underneath when washed with a sponge, and this can result in unsightly scratches, swirl marks and the fading of the paint. So it's important that when we clean all this off, we do it in a way that requires a minimal amount of contact on the bodywork. Simply taking a sponge of soapy water to a dirty car is very much like grabbing a handful of grit and rubbing it onto the paintwork. Additionally, there are some nasty looking stains on the alloys that we also need to get rid of. We found that snow foam works perfectly for a job like this, where more attention is needed on the bodywork initially and the dirt needs to be loosened before we use a sponge. This can also work for regular washes where there is a minimal amount of dirt on the body and helps to reduce the chance of rubbing dirt into the paintwork. Before we start, make sure you're doing this on a cool day in the shade. Washing a car in direct sunlight on a hot day will always leave watermarks and give a poor result. To use snow foam, you'll need a pressure washer and an appropriate adapter to fit it to your pressure washer lance, and some snow foam solution. We won't go into detail here as there's many to choose from, but in general, most pressure washers are up to the job, and there's usually a snow foam adapter to fit. The mixture ratio is normally indicated on the bottle of snow foam solution that you buy. Have a play with the settings. What you're looking for is a mixture that is thick enough to coat the surface and sprays evenly, yet not so thin that it runs off as quickly as water. You're looking for an even coverage. The setup we have here is almost spot on, but it could possibly be a little bit thicker. Spray the car liberally, ensuring that all surfaces are coated. It's okay to go around more than once if there's lots of dirt, but be aware that where there is heavy deposits of dirt, so for example on the tailgate, snow foam won't completely remove the dirt, but it will loosen it up, so it's much easier and safer to clean later with the sponge. Once the surface has been coated, give it a good 5 minutes to allow the solution to run off. Once the car has been coated and the snow foam has run off, you'll need to rinse the car. Try to do this before the snow foam has completely dried off, as dirt tends to be suspended in the foam. If the foam dries while on the bodywork, then the dirt will be left on the surface and may not shift when we rinse the car. When using a pressure washer without the snow foam attachment, the pressure of the water coming out of the lance is much higher, so it's important not to use it at close range and aim directly at any air intakes, water seals or components. The distance you can see here is about right. While you're rinsing, take this opportunity to spray inside the wheel arches. Try to aim at the plastic splash guard rather than any brake components. Doing this will clear out any dirt and mud that has accumulated and will keep components in better condition. Additionally, if you work on your own car, it makes them much nicer to work on. Now we've loosened the dirt and given the car a rinse, let's turn our attention to the alloys. These alloys have started to develop a bit of surface corrosion, and it has allowed the dirt to build up on ridges that have formed in the lacquer. This is not uncommon, but it is easily solvable. Traditional shampoos and even snow foam will not actually shift this, so we recommend Bilberry Wheel Cleaner. Other similar products are available. Start by spraying the wheel with the cleaner, and then leave it for about 5 minutes to penetrate the dirt. Then spray the wheel again, and use a stiff nylon brush to work it in. You'll see that any marks on the wheel start to disappear at this point. Try not to let the wheel dry while doing this, and apply more solution if needed. Once you're happy you've got all the dirt off, give it a rinse with the pressure washer. Try not to aim directly at any brake components. If you missed anything, just give it another spray with the cleaning solution and try again. As you can see here, our volunteer needs an eye test as he needs to go back over each wheel more than once. Now that all the loose dirt and grit has been removed, it is safe to use a sponge. We're using the term sponge, but actually we recommend a wool mitt. These are much softer on the paintwork, they last longer and they hold more water, and being a mitt that you wear, you're much less likely to drop it. It's worth pointing out at this point, if you ever drop a sponge or mitt, do not proceed to use it again until it's been thoroughly rinsed or washed out. A sponge picked up from the floor will be covered in grit and dirt that you can't see. Using it at this point would be very much like rubbing dirt and grit straight into the bodywork yourself, and undo any benefits gained from using snow foam. Here we are using the 2 bucket method. This is optional, but we like to use it just to be safe. This method means that once the sponge is dirty, it can be easily rinsed before it is put back onto the car, thus reducing the chance of scratches further. Be sure to rinse the sponge regularly. This part is pretty self-explanatory, but the only thing we would suggest is use the orange peel method. This means start at the top of the car and work your way around, gradually working lower and lower. Typically the most dirt and grit accumulates near the bottom of the car, so by following this method we tackle the really dirty parts last, and further reduce the risk of transferring grit to the main body panels and causing scratches. Once complete, give the car a good rinse. When drying, you find you get a better finish if the car is still wet, so try not to let it dry in the sun, especially if you have hard water, as this will leave unsightly watermarks. If required, rinse again just before drying a panel. For this, we recommend a microfiber towel over a chamois leather, but it's not essential. So, thanks for watching. For more videos, check out our page and don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. We'll see you soon.